Assalamu alaikum students. I'm your teacher SHAHNEILA. As you all know that I'm teaching you English Balbharti, and we had already studied two chapters of the first unit. Now we are on the third unit, and we are on the third chapter, and the name of it is Be a Good Listener. So what does be a good listener means? So firstly, who is a listener? And who is the speaker? As you can see in the picture, a boy is speaking to three of his friends. So, who is the speaker among these people? The boy is the speaker, while three are his friends, are the listeners. Likewise, in the below picture, the girl is a speaker and the boy is a listener. So, a listener is the one who listens to the speaker, and the speaker is the one who speaks. So a good listener is the one who listens carefully, attentively, with all the senses, like with eyes, ears, and with the heart as well. So we'll see who is a good listener. A good listener is someone who looks at the speaker. So these are the attributes and manners of listening, of being, and you can even say these are the manners and the etiquettes of a good listener. So these are the things and requirements for being a good listener. A good listener looks at the speaker. He looks at the speaker while he is speaking. He pays attention to what he is saying, thinks about what they hear. So he thinks about what the speaker is saying and pays attention to it and hear it carefully. Sit still. Sit still means he is sitting with proper manners. He is not moving all the time. He is sitting still and hearing carefully. He even asks questions if he feels so, and there are queries. He asks even questions. Gives feedback when the speaker questions. He gives feedback. He answers. Who? The good listener. And he does not interrupt the speaker. He doesn't disturb the speaker nor he troubles the speaker. He listens it attentively and carefully. He stays focused. So what does focus means? He pays attention and stays focused. Very attentive while the speaker is speaking. He speaks only when it is their turn. When it is his turn, suppose the speaker is asking questions, and a good listener answers only when his turn comes. When he raises his hand, and if the speaker gives him the chance to speak, then he will answer only at that time. He won't interrupt in the middle. He stays patient. When does he stay patient? When he's not given the chance to answer, he stays patient. He doesn't fumble. So he relates to the topic. If he is being answered, if he is giving the answer, he relates to the topic. He doesn't go away from the topic. So these are the qualities and attributes of a good listener. So what are the qualities of a good listener, or who is a good listener? A good listener is someone who who looks at the speaker, who pays attention, thinks about what they hear, sits still, asks questions, gives feedback, does not interrupt the speaker, stays focused, speaks only when it is required or when it is a turn, stays patient, relates to the topic. So these are the qualities of a good listener. Now, there is a saying by Larry King. I remind myself every morning, nothing I say this day will teach me anything. So if I am going to learn, I must do it by listening. So what does this person, Larry King, remind himself every morning? He reminds himself every morning that nothing is going to teach him except listening if he listens carefully. So there are many good qualities and good things which we get by listening carefully. If someone is teaching you or giving a lecture or even while speaking, simple like day-to-day conversation, if we pay attention and listen it carefully, it will benefit us. So listening properly will be beneficial for us. Now there's another saying by Jiddu Krishnamurti. So he says, when you are listening to somebody completely, attentively, then you are listening not only to the words but also to the feeling of what is being conveyed to the whole of it or not a part of it. So what is basically saying, if you are listening someone carefully and attentively, there then you are listening not to the words, not जब बस उसके बात पे नहीं गौर कर, but to the feeling of that person as well, and the feeling of the matter that is being conveyed. मतलब जो हमें matter बोल रहा है, जो हमें बोलने जा रहा है, we are listening it and we are grasping all what is being said. So what does he says about good listener or benefit of good listening? That when you listen to somebody completely and attentively, then you are listening not only to the words but also to the feeling of what is being conveyed. Now we will see the unit, the chapter. So be a good listener. Here are some attributes and things you require to be a good listener. So it's important to be a good listener. When you are learning a language or when you are dealing with other people, are you a good listener? So they are asking us a question. When you are learning a language or when you are a listener, are you a good listener or not? Do you deal with that person carefully or not? So they are asking if you or me is a good listener or not. So we'll see. You can find it out with the help of the following questions. Now, the first question is, when you are listening to someone, do you look at the person or do you turn your head away or toy with something else? So what is being said is when someone is speaking to you, do you listen to that person carefully, looking at his face, or do you play with something else? मतलब मैं suppose I'm teaching you in a class, and while I'm teaching you, do you listen to me carefully or not? Or do you play with your pencil, pen, or look here and there in the window or at the door? So, if you don't listen me carefully, then you are not a good listener. And the one who listens carefully and attentively, then he is a good listener. So, a good listener looks at the person or the speaker. So now the next question is, do you pay attention to what the speaker is saying? Do you pay attention? Suppose now I'm speaking to you, now I'm teaching to. Are you paying attention to the lecture? If you are paying attention, then you are a good listener. If you are not paying attention, then you are not a good listener. So good listener pays close attention to the speaker. So a good listener pays close attention. He listens carefully. Third question. Do you make special efforts to understand the speaker? So suppose I am teaching you. If you are not understanding, but still you are trying yourself to pay attention and to grasp what I am saying or to understand what I am saying. If you aren't, then you are not a good listener and you don't put any effort in listening. But if you are a good listener, you will try to understand to what am I teaching you, to what am I speaking about. So a good listener has all these qualities. Now, here are some of the things that will help you understand the speaker better. So in this book we are being advised, we are being advised and we are given advice how to understand and how to be a good listener and a speaker as well. So if you hear new or unfamiliar words, try to guess their meaning from the context. So if you hear a new word or which you don't know the meaning of it, then try to understand the meaning from the context. Context means the matter which is being told or being written. Try to understand the matter, try to understand the meaning of the word from it. Suppose the weather is very placid today. So you don't know the meaning of placid, but the weather is good. So you can try to understand the meaning of the word placid from the sentence. So placid means serene, means calm. The weather is very calm and peaceful today. Now the next advice is you can try to guess what the speaker will say next. You can try to guess that. Suppose I'm speaking to you or I'm teaching you about clauses or anything about grammar, and you try to guess. Suppose I taught you something first part, and you should try to guess the second part. Who does this all? A good listener tries to guess the next part of what is being said or what is being told or what is being taught. Try to keep listening even when you feel that you do not understand the speaker or even when you disagree with the speaker. Wait for the speaker to finish what he is saying. Then you can get your doubts clarified by asking polite questions. Suppose if you are not getting what the speaker is saying, still be patient and try and be focused. And if you have any queries, you can ask the speaker after the session or the speaking gets completed. You can clarify your doubts. You can clarify your doubts after the speaker completes his speak, and you should ask in a polite manner. You should ask the questions very politely. Suppose the father here is asking his daughter, please bring me the vase that has pink roses. It's on the dining table. Now, there are three meanings of vase. First, a bed of roses, and the second one, a kind of pond, and the third, a frog. So, we had learned the first advice is that try to understand the meaning of unfamiliar words by the context, from the context. So what did the father say? He said, bring me the vase that has pink roses. Now a bed of roses has pink roses, but he said, bring me the vase that has pink roses, which is on the dining table. Now a bed of roses can't be on a dining table. No, a frog cannot also be on the dining table. We generally keep our clothes in closet or cupboard. So the third meaning would be a kind of pot. So what is the father is instructing to bring? A vase which has pink roses in it. So we should try to guess the meaning of the unfamiliar words with the context. Now, there are again advices. Do not feel shy or afraid to ask questions if you do not understand what is being said. Put your questions to the speaker politely. Suppose you do not know how to ask a question, or you are afraid of the speaker, or you are very shy. You are a shrinking violet. A shy person is called a shrinking violet. Or if you are shy and afraid to ask the question to the speaker, then you can still ask it by being courageous and speaking politely to the speaker. So you should not be afraid of the speaker. You should not be hesitant to ask questions, but you should ask it in a polite manner and with full courage. Sometimes it helps to note down important words or points even as you listen. Even I do this. I have the habit of writing down notes while I'm listening to a lecture. Any lecture in which I listen and I find it like beneficial, then I note it down the points. It is very beneficial. Even the new words and new points and even something you learn about knowledge or anything that is beneficial for you, you can note it down. Lastly, it also helps to keep thinking about what you heard. You may grasp the meaning of a difficult word or phrase later on. Lastly, it also helps to keep thinking about what you heard. So what you had heard in the while the speaker is speaking, it helps you to think about it later. मतलब बाद में भी आपको याद आता है, अरे हमने तो ये सुना था, हमने तो वो सुना था, उनसे ये सुना था, वो सुना था. So it is very beneficial to listen carefully. मतलब a good speaker is a good learner as well. Sorry, a good listener is a good learner. I hope you have understood what I have taught you. So stay tuned to our school's software channel, YouTube channel, and don't forget to like my video. I hope you have understood. Stay fit. Jazakallah khairan for listening.